Hobbits or halflings are a fictional human-like race in the novels of J.R.R. Tolkien, about half the height of humans. They live barefooted, and live in underground houses which have windows, as they are typically built into the sides of hills. But did you know that their Hobbit-look-like race inhabited the United States of America? The natives called them the Moon-Eyed People. Hi, my name is George and welcome to George Skull TV. The untamed wilderness is along the southern Appalachian Mountains of the United States. The native Cherokee people have long told of a strange race of beings they call the Moon-Eyed People. This mysterious tribe was supposedly smaller than average humans, almost dwarfish in nature, very pale-skinned, like pure white alabaster, with shocking white hair, generous beards and body hair, and inhumanly large blue eyes, sensitive to light to the point that they were said to be unable to see in the daytime, hence their name. These Moon-Eyed People were purportedly completely nocturnal, hiding in dank caves and underground caverns during the day only to come out at night when the sun had retreated, and indeed sunlight was said to be enough to kill them if they ever got caught out in the open during daylight hours. These strange, diminutive nocturnal denizens of the land were said to have been here long before the first native peoples had settled the area, and according to most legends they were eventually expelled by local natives, although what form this expulsion takes varies from tradition to tradition. In some tales it was the Creek people from the south who cast them out, wherein in others it is the Cherokees themselves who waged a relentless campaign and full-out war against these pale-skinned creatures to drive them to other lands. The American botanist, naturalist, and physician, Benjamin Smith Barton, wrote of these people and their downfall back in 1797, in his book New Views of the Origin of the Tribes and Nations of America. Thus, the Cherokee tell us, that when they first arrived in the country which they inhabit, they found it possessed by certain moon-eyed people, who could not see in the daytime. These wretches they expelled. Another version of the story is that it was the Cherokee themselves who waged war against the Moon-Eyed People, driving them from their home at Hiwassee, a village near what is now Murphy, North Carolina, west into Tennessee. Both versions of the story say the Moon-Eyed People began living underground after losing the war. Cherokee cosmology is complex and fascinating, and describes a universe where humans share the world with other, non-human, supernatural peoples. In the traditional Cherokee concept of the world, races such as the Nunai or the Unwaitsudi are a part of the natural world who interact with humans at their own discretion, similar to the traditional idea of fairies in the British Isles. However, what's interesting is that the Moon-Eyed People are never described as being supernatural, but are remembered as another group of humans who were physically very different than the Native Americans. Whatever happened to this enigmatic race, their legacy has supposedly remained behind in the ancient rock structures and mysterious pre-Columbian mounds and ruins that dot the landscape along the Appalachians from North Carolina all the way down through Georgia and Alabama, all said to have been erected by the Moon-Eyed People. Perhaps the most famous of these is an 850-foot-long stone wall dated to 400–500 CE, which meanders through Fort Mountain State Park, just over the North Carolina border in Georgia, and is said to be a vestige of the bloody war between the mysterious Moon-Eyed People and the native Cherokee. There are countless other crude rock structures, walls, mounds and forts scattered all throughout the Appalachians, as well as anomalous carvings, figurines, and a soapstone carving of conjoined figures now on display at the Cherokee County Historical Museum said to be of these strange people, and no one really knows who made any of them except for the Cherokee themselves, who say it was the work of the Moon-Eyed People. Whoever built such structures has long remained a mystery, and when Europeans first came to the region the natives, who were not known for making such fort-like structures themselves, claimed that they had always been there, saying that they were constructions of the Moon-Eyed People. Interestingly, while Cherokee folklore has many tales of supernatural beings and various spirits, the Moon-Eyed People are never spoken of in such a manner, rather being described matter-of-factly as physically another race inhabiting the same lands. Of course, with such an oddity as a cryptic tribe of bizarre dwarf subterranean albino people, almost like vampires in their intolerance for sunlight, and who predated the native peoples and constructed their mysterious mounds and forts, there is bound to be theorizing as to who or what they may have been. One of the most popular ideas is that they are evidence of native contact with European explorers who had made it to the New World long before history says they did, possibly connected to the legend of the Welsh-speaking Indians. The story of white-skinned, Welsh-speaking Indians in the New World originates with a 16th century manuscript published by Welsh antiquarian Humphrey Wood, in which he writes of Welsh settlers coming to these shores in the 12th century, in particular a Prince Madoc, who along with his followers was said to have emigrated to America from Wales in about 1170, landing somewhere in the vicinity of Mobile Bay, Alabama. Madoc would supposedly end up shipping over hundreds of his followers to the New World, where they would disappear into the wilderness, never to return. In the following centuries there were many stories of fair-skinned, blue-eyed natives who spoke a form of Welsh from the area, and these have been speculated to have been the descendants of these settlers. Indeed, there are many tales of blue-eyed Indians from the New World, which I have covered here at Mew before, and perhaps this all has some part to play in the mystery of the Moon-eyed people. Another idea put forth by Benjamin Smith Barton is that they were out-of-place descendants of members of the Guna people of Panama, who have such an uncommonly high rate of albinism, that they were once referred to as the White Indians, and who were also reportedly able to see better at night. Another theory is that, rather than go to war, the natives of the land actually integrated with the Moon-eyed people and absorbed them. Still other more far-out theories are that these were some other species of human, a new race, or even ancient astronauts from another world. I hope you enjoy this video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Also please follow my Facebook page GeorgSkull Once again my name is George and thank you for watching. To attain knowledge, add things every day.